ventilate, discuss, look into, and if necessary, investigate the allegations and or accusations against senator judges in their capacity likewise as senators. So ordered. What is the pleasure of Senator Judge?
I will just manifest, I correct myself, it was stamped, not registered mail. And since I agree with the ruling, I will not anymore argue the
Thank you,
other
sir.
rule that correlates with Rule 6. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Noted that it was stamped. The Senate President, thereafter, Senator Judge Erwin Tulfo.
Thank you, Mr. Presiding Officer.
Hopefully we can move on after the manifestations of the two gentlemen.
Let me appreciate and thank the ruling of the presiding officer to refer the manifestations as well as the comments of our colleagues to the Senate acting as a legislative body. 8 days na lang po ay magko-convene na ang Senate at doon rin ho natin pag-uusapan itong mga mahalagang bagay na pag-usapan ho natin ngayon at kanina po ay narinig ko po yung komento ng ating kasamaan si Senator Robin Padilla at ito po yung mga bagay na dapat rin po nating talakayin pag nagbukas na po ang Senado in 1 week's time. So with the indulgence of our colleagues, importante ho yung oras ng trial sa mga darating na panahon. Nasabi ko nga nung mga ilang araw na mahaba pa yung ating dadaanan. Ito ay 7th day pa lang out of the 102 days na dadaanan ho natin. Kaya bawat oras, bawat segundo ay napakalaga. At nagpapasalamat po ako sa ating mga kasamahan dahil po sa kanilang masusing pag-participate ho dito sa ating impeachment. Pero dadating rin po tayo doon sa pagtatalakay nitong mahalagang issue pagbukas po ng Senado. Maraming salamat, Mr. Presiding Officer.
Senator Judge Erwin Tulfo, briefly, sir, so that we can proceed to the matter on hand.
Very quickly, Mr. Presiding Officer, can we start now, sir?
I was about to, sir.
Thank you, sir. We wasted 26 minutes for nothing. Thank you po.
Proceeding now to the matter on hand. The presiding officer already made the ruling, referring it to the Senate as a legislative body, Senator Judge Soto. Without expunging it from the records, let it remain there. We will now proceed on the matter at hand. We now resume consideration of the prosecution's requests for the issuance of subpoenas duces tecum number 1 for the banks and the Anti-Money Laundering Council on the other, on one hand, and to the Bureau of Internal Revenue on the other. And as previously agreed and discussed, not only in caucus but also directly by the presiding officer with some members. Chair will now recognize, as I understand, Senator Judge. Ikaw ba una? Senator Judge Alan or Senator Judge Villanueva or Senator Judge Pia? Who would want? No one's raising their hand, that's why I don't know. Senator Judge Villanueva is recognized. You may proceed, sir. Thereafter, Senator Judge Pia Cayetano. Thereafter, Senator Judge Alan Cayetano. You may proceed, sir.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Mr. Presiding Officer. As much as I am more than willing to give way to our dear colleagues. But Mr. President, before I make inquire and pose some questions to the prosecution and the defense, may I also raise something, Mr. Presiding Officer? Gusto ko lang pong malinawan tungkol po dun sa procedural aspect, Ginoong Pangulo, dun sa motion na ito. Kasi sa regular courts, hindi naman po unusual na ang isa pong motion ay i-grant in part at i-deny in part. Depende po sa legal and factual basis ng bawat relief na hinihingi po, Ginoong Pangulo. So, pwede ko po bang malinawan lang, Mr. Presiding Officer, tama po bang sabihin, ganun din yung kapangyarihan ng ating impeachment court? Maaari po ba na suriin ang bawat hinihinging subpoena ng magkahiwalay at magpasya po batay sa legal at factual basis ng bawat isa sa halip po na tratuhin ang buong motion bilang isang all or nothing proposition?
Tatratuhin ng hukumang ito bilang nag-iisang motion ang tag-isang motion na inihain ng prosecution. They only filed 2 motions, Senator Judge Villanueva, and the court will act on these 2 motions separately, regardless of the number of issues or sub-issues underneath each motion. The reason is simple. Because the court should be a passive body. By amending the motion into several parts and voting on it separately, we are essentially acting as if we were one of the parties. In voting for or against the grant of the motion, we should take into consideration all of the factors that may be raised for or against it. And it may be cited by the Senator Judge in explaining his vote or voting for or against it. Pangalawa po, bilang mga hukom, hindi tayo pwedeng masyadong aktibong makilahok sa paraan ng mga motion, which is essentially a relief being asked for by a party. Sa pamamagitan ng paghahati ng mga motion na yan para pagbotohan ng hiwa-hiwalay. And there is precedent insofar as this position taken by the presiding officer is concerned. In the impeachment of the former Chief Justice, late former Chief Justice Corona, where then Senate President, presiding officer Enrile, ruled that the ruling of the chair on motions are indivisible and may only be appealed in toto and not in part.
Thank you, Mr. Presiding Officer. And it's clear to me now, despite the fact, Mr. Presiding Officer, Your Honors, that if there would come a time na, for example, sa isang sabina, may sinasabina na sa asawa o sa korporasyon o korporasyon na hindi naman relevant at material doon sa kaso, yun lang po, Ginoong Pangulo, ang ating nagiging reservation tungkol po dito. Ngunit naging malinaw po sa akin na magiging isang desisyon lamang doon sa dalawang motion na inihain.
Tag-isang desisyon
Tag-isa.
kada motion, pero pwede, gaya ng nasabi ng kagagalang-galang na hukom na senador, na pwedeng hindi ibigay yung lahat ng korteng ito. Pwedeng iba lamang, parte lamang, at hindi eksakto ng hiningi niya. Pero yun ang
Pwede.
pagpapasyan na bilang isang nag-iisang motion.
Marami pong salamat. Naging mas malinaw po sa kinatawan na ito ang ruling ng ating presiding officer. May I start raising some questions, Mr. President, Mr. Presiding Officer, to the two parties, Mr. Presiding Officer, just for the guidance of the court, and I think it's important that we distinguish between two separate procedural questions. Una, kung dapat po bang i-produce ang hinihinging records, at pangalawa, kung ang mga records na iyon ay magiging admissible at kung anong evidentiary weight ang dapat ibigay sa kanila. So let me start by asking our lead prosecutor, Congressman, to our dear Congressman, would it be correct, sir, to say that the issuance of a subpoena merely compels the production of records and does not by itself amount to a ruling that those records are admissible, relevant, or entitled to evidentiary weight, Your Honor?
Before the member of the panel for prosecutors answers, he's not the lead prosecutor. The
sorry.
question is addressed to the Honorable Representative Chel Jokno, who is a member of the who is part of the panel of prosecutors who will be answering your questions. And for the record, too, on the part of the respondent, I think it's Attorney Poa who will be answering.
That's correct.
Thank
So
you.
that we don't need to identify each one each time anymore for the record.
Thank you.
The Honorable Jokno may respond to the question of Senator Judge Villanueva. You may proceed, sir, when you're ready.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good afternoon to all the members of this honorable court. Naisagot na po ata yan na ni dating presiding judge Juan Ponce Enrile dun po sa Corona impeachment case. And if I may quote just a brief portion from what he said, I would like to explain that the resolution of this court was simply to authorize the issuance of a subpoena. And whether those evidence subpoenaed are admissible evidence, given the fact that they apparently appeared in violation of existing laws, is a question that must be resolved in due course. So ang ibig po sabihin, ang hiling lang po ng prosecution ay may labas ang ebidensya, pero wala pa po tayo dun sa punto kung tatanggapin ba nitong hukuman ang evidence na yun, kung siya po ay admissible o hindi.
Maraming salamat po sa inyong tugon, Representative Jokno. Kaya po, nilahad ko po yan nang sa ganoon, maitanong po natin ang defense panel, if that distinction is correct, would the defense still maintain that the mere issuance of a subpoena is by itself already prejudicial to the respondent even before the court has ruled on admissibility or weight?
Yes, Your Honor. Good afternoon, Honorable Senator Judges. Yes, while we agree with the position of the prosecution na hindi pa naman pinag-uusapan ang admissibility sa puntong ito, what we are questioning is really yung subpoena mismo po. Dahil sa ating pananaw, ang isang subpoena, at hindi lang sa ating pananaw, but even under jurisprudence, meron pong requirements bago tayo makapag-issue ng subpoena para maging valid yung subpoena na yun. At yun po yung napag-usapan natin nung nakarang linggo na definiteness and relevance. Ngayon, yung twin requirements na yun, para po sa pananaw ng depensa, ay lacking in this case. And that is why we maintain our position as regards opposing itong request ng prosecution sa pag-issue ng subpoena.
Well, at least malinaw po, ang pag-issue ng subpoena, not necessarily opening of records, una. Pangalawa, to be presented in court. At pangatlo, to be admitted as evidence by this court. Before I go dun sa requirement, let me ask the panel of prosecutors, si Representative Jokno, dun po sa pananaw ng depensa on alleged fishing expedition, just for the guidance of Senator Judges, this representation would like to clarify one procedural matter. We understand that the concern raised by the defense that the subpoena may be overly broad. And at the same time, we also recognize that the court has a duty naman to determine whether the records being sought are sufficiently relevant and material to the issues before us. So, Representative Jokno, maaari po ba ninyong ipaliwanag kung paano ninyo tiniyak na ang hinihinging mga records ay hindi po simpleng paghahanap lamang